who wins, because I was invested from the first second. But last year we were in Northumberland and that was stunning. But this time, and I'm not biased just because I'm Welsh, but Eryri National Park is stunning. And that's where this farm sits, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is a 600-acre farm. With, It's incredible. And then you see that big lake there, Llindanas. You will know this. I mean, the legends of Llindanas are incredible. It's basically where the white dragon and the red dragon had this fight. The red dragon won, and that is why Wales has a red dragon on the flag, because of that lake. So this farm is on the shores of that lake. So there's 7 hopefuls, all desperately trying to get their hands on this tenancy. And it's a 15-year tenancy, and the assets there are incredible, because you haven't just got the farmhouse, you've also got an annex as well for bed and breakfast. You've got these bothies, which are basically like old sort of cattle buildings that adventurous people love to go and stay in, walkers and what have you. So you've got all of that going on. It's within the national park as well, so all the ranger side of stuff. And for 3 weeks, they are put through their paces by the National Trust, and then they can choose from there. Like, basically, as I'm saying, it's like a practical job interview. You know, from what they're seeing, they pick the perfect tenant that's suited to that farm, and the farm is suited to them.
Well, this is it. These tenancies don't come up very often, so this is a really big opportunity for these farmers. They're going straight in with the task. We've got lambing season. What else they got?
Yeah, so it's because it's so mixed, and you've got access to that lake. There's the recreation side of stuff as well. So there's paddle boarding. They end up doing all these tasks where they've got to welcome recreation folk there. There's tourists. They actually set up the bed and breakfast as well and put them through the paces there. You've got all of the livestock challenges as well, because they're involved, because they have to be really capable. You know, this is the thing with farmers. You've got to be a jack of all trades, and the National Trust have to see, you know, if they're suited for that particular place. So I'm not going to put any spoilers out there, but it's fascinating. The ram selection is another level, because they've literally got to get hands-on with all parts of the ram to make sure that they are as productive as possible. So you can imagine those with less sort
experience.
Of livestock have an interesting time in the ram pen.
I could imagine. I mean, there's lots of similarities actually with Dragon's Den, to be fair. Like, how would you pitch it yourself? If you were one of the young farmers, if you were a hopeful, how would you pitch yourself?
Well, I would go heavy on the dragon story, obviously with you sat here.
There we go.
That's the one we'd go for.
That's lovely, mate, but all I want to know is your numbers. Do you know your numbers?
This is important to know as well, because there is a very, very important business meeting that they sit down with, and that's exactly what Giles Hunt, who's the Land and Estates Director for the whole of the National Trust, he's one of the selectors there, as well as the General Manager, who's going to be working with them on more of a daily basis. But yeah, they get grilled on all of that.
Oh, you can see.
All the way through, because it has to be right. It has to be a viable business. And it's never harder than right now to get that viable business as a farmer. And you know, what I hope that people take from this is that folk understand how much you have to be a jack of all trades. You know, those farmers that are doing everything to make the countryside what it is. Not only are they producing our food, but they're looking after our environment too, and they're creating the place that everybody wants to go and be in. So, you know, get behind British farmers. That's what I
protect farmers, absolutely. Well, National Trust, Our Dream Farm with Matt Baker begins on Saturday at 7 o'clock on Channel 4. And sadly, that is all we've got time for.